want to be my latex salesman?
Tonight, the world's most iconic comedian faces a reality more shocking than any punchline. Jerry Seinfeld, the man who built an empire on sharp memory, quick wit, and perfect timing, is now struggling to recognize the very people he loves most. At 71 years old, whispers around his inner circle point to a heartbreaking diagnosis, one that threatens not just his legacy, but the identity he spent a lifetime building. The comedian who mastered life's smallest details is suddenly losing grip on the biggest ones. This isn't about fame, isn't about fortune. This is about a man millions adore, quietly fighting a battle no one saw coming. And tonight, you're about to learn the truth behind it. Jerry Seinfeld was born on April 29, 1954, in Brooklyn, New York, the son of Kalman Seinfeld and Betty Seinfeld. Two parents carrying histories shaped by war, migration, and tradition. His father had escaped Hungary after World War II, surviving trauma with humor tucked inside his soul like a private weapon. He painted signs for a living, but at home he turned the dinner table into a stage. His mother came from a Syrian Jewish family, with roots in Aleppo and traditions that emphasized storytelling, survival, and wit. Together, they created the environment where Jerry's comedic instincts were born. Growing up in Massapequa, Long Island, alongside his older sister Carolyn, Jerry discovered early that humor wasn't just entertainment in the Seinfeld household, it was a language. There were inside jokes about his father's shop, Cal Signs, which would later be referenced inside the iconic series Seinfeld like hidden fingerprints from family history. Jerry watched life carefully. He noticed the way people argued, how they exaggerated, how they stumbled over the tiniest things. By age 8, he became obsessed with comedy the way other children fixated on baseball. He stayed up late watching The Tonight Show, memorizing every gesture from comics like Buddy Hackett. His bedroom became a stage, his mirror became an audience, and his handwritten jokes organized in tiny scraps became the blueprint of an unfolding destiny. By high school, Jerry joined the drama club and immediately began rewriting scripts with improvised lines. Teachers scolded him, but students adored him. In one school play, his off-script joke about cafeteria food made the audience roar. No rehearsal, no permission, just instinct. Outside school, a trip to Kibbutz Sa'ar in Israel exposed him to people from different cultures arguing over small, ridiculous things. Later, he turned these moments into bits about airports, restaurants, and family vacations. Jerry learned the power of quiet observation. He learned that the world is filled with unintentional comedy, and all he had to do was pay attention. After graduating from Massapequa High School, Jerry enrolled at SUNY Oswego, but the isolation bothered him. 2 years later, he transferred to Queens College, where he found a bridge into the New York comedy world. Open mic nights at Catch a Rising Star became his real classroom. His first performance bombed completely, but comics like Jay Leno pushed him to get back on stage. He bought yellow legal pads and filled them with jokes about refrigerators, socks, roommates, and elevators. Nothing dramatic, nothing exaggerated, just the small frustrations and quirks everyone recognized but never talked about. By 1976, Jerry wasn't just another comic. He was becoming something much rarer, a precision instrument of comedy. His big break came in 1977, when Rodney Dangerfield invited him onto an HBO special. That one night made Jerry visible to the world beyond New York, but fame didn't hit immediately. He spent the next years hustling through clubs, reworking jokes, performing for tiny crowds, and surviving on almost nothing. In 1981, everything changed. The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson gave Jerry his first national spotlight. When Johnny Carson laughed at his set, the country did too. Suddenly, Jerry wasn't just a promising comic, he was a phenomenon. Appearances on Late Night with David Letterman followed. But success didn't shield him from reality. He lived in cheap apartments, pawned his watch during a financial crisis, and nearly gave up. Yet every setback only sharpened his discipline. In 1987, his special Stand-Up Confidential caught the attention of producers. That same year, Jerry met Larry David. What began as a simple conversation became the seed of a show that would transform television forever. By 1991, the show was exploding. Episodes like The Contest, The Soup Nazi, and The Marine Biologist became cultural landmarks. Julia Louis-Dreyfus brought Elaine Baynes to life with chemistry that elevated the entire ensemble. Jason Alexander turned George Costanza into a neurotic legend. Michael Richards embodied Cosmo Kramer, a character that seemed to defy physics itself. The show climbed ratings charts until it reigned at number 1. By the final season, Jerry was earning $1 million per episode, an unprecedented figure. When the finale aired on May 14, 1998, 76.3 million people tuned in. Critics debated the ending, but the numbers spoke for themselves. Syndication deals generated billions. Netflix eventually paid $500 million for the rights. Jerry owns 15% of the show's backend, meaning every rerun, every stream, every international sale funnels money into his fortune. After the show ended, Jerry didn't retreat. He returned to stand-up, creating the documentary Comedian in 2002, exposing the vulnerable process of rebuilding an act from zero. He organized over 40,000 jokes into categorized archives. He wrote every day. He mentored rising comics. In 2007, he brought his voice to animation with B-Movie, which unexpectedly became a global hit, with more than $287 million at the box office. Then came the project that redefined modern comedy formats. Comedians in cars getting coffee. A simple idea, 2 comedians, 1 classic car, 1 conversation, and yet it exploded in popularity. 1 episode, featuring Barack Obama at the White House, racked up over 52 million views. Jerry and the president sat inside a 1963 Corvette Stingray, joking, reflecting, and showing how comedy could coexist with politics. Specials continued to flow. In 2017, Jerry before Seinfeld brought him back to his roots, the tiny comic strip live, surrounded by his earliest notebooks. Then in 2020, he adapted to the pandemic with 23 Hours to Kill, a virtual-style stand-up special filmed at the Beacon Theater, earning over $20 million in 2024. He surprised the world again with Unfrosted, a fictional, comedic reimagining of the history of Pop-Tarts, turning breakfast food into a corporate crime saga. More than 50 million people watched it within the first week, proving Jerry could still innovate. Then in 1998, he met Jessica Sklar, who had just returned from her honeymoon with Eric Nederlander. Within months, her marriage collapsed, and she began dating Jerry. They married in 1999 and built a long-lasting family. But the beginning was clouded by accusations and emotional fallout. The most surprising moment came in 2014. When Jerry told Brian Williams that he believed he might be on the autism spectrum. Not diagnosed, but self-aware. The world looked back at his perfectionism, routine, literal thinking, and struggles with small talk, and many said it made sense. In 2017, he refused a hug from Keisha on live camera, sparking viral debate. Jerry brushed it off. To him, boundaries mattered more than public perception. Over the years, the Seinfeld Foundation donated millions to autism research and children's welfare, often anonymously. Jerry didn't do it for praise. He rarely mentioned it at all. It was another layer of a complicated, brilliant legacy. Today, his net worth is estimated near $950 million. Some believe he crossed the billion-dollar mark quietly. But money isn't the part of life that challenges him. What challenges him is fatherhood. His children often ask, "Is that a bit?" When he speaks, they don't laugh like the world laughs. They don't see him as a legend. And strangely, that vulnerability has made Jerry more reflective than ever. He says the best moments aren't vacations or big events, they're late-night cereal bowls, small talks, moments without scripts. He teaches his children something he calls the 3 poisonous P's: praise, pleasure, and problem-solving. He believes children need struggle, not perfection. Now at 71, he is preparing for his Laughing Matters World Tour in 2026, 30 cities, all sold out. He plans to talk about aging, socks, phones, human habits, and why nothing in life truly changes. He jokes that artificial intelligence can't write a great sock joke, and he's probably right. Because what Jerry does can't be replicated by machines. It comes from decades of watching the world as an outsider, turning invisible pain into humor, and transforming everyday awkwardness into universal language. Even now, Jerry Seinfeld writes every single day, honing jokes, observing life, and perfecting his craft not for fame or applause, but because laughter is how he makes sense of the world. He isn't slowing down. He isn't fading. He evolves, reinvents, and proves that true comedy only deepens with time. Celebrate the genius, the dedication, the relentless mind behind the laughs. If you admire Jerry's brilliance, like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more stories that reveal the legends behind the laughter. Thanks for watching.